the chef, Dr. Timothy Moore's show, the one and only, the diabetic chef himself. This show is about how to reverse your diabetes, how to take control of your life. Just sit back, relax, let the chef wow you with the how to change the things that you thought you could never reverse in your life. The chef, the one and only chef, Dr. Timothy Moore. Well, it's that time of year again to make things happen. It's holiday seasoning, man. This is Chef Dr. Timothy Moore. Thank you for tuning in and to listen to this podcast, and I hope it's informative that you're able to share it and pass it on to your friends. And also go to Chef Dr. Timothy Moore. Become part of the community, understanding about not just diabetes type 2, but understand how to prevent it, how to live healthy, how to have your life back. Man, this year has come and gone. It's hard to believe. Time has moved as it has moved, and I don't know about you. It seemed like it was just yesterday. It was January. Now we come up with another new January, but also we come up in that time of year that a lot of you are struggling. It is holiday seasoning, and we're trying to find out how to eat healthy and live a healthy lifestyle. Man, it's hard. It's not simple. A lot of things that we have to go through, a lot of things that are tempting us that we don't really understand. And I hate to say it, it's people that we love and cherish that oftentimes are putting things in our front of us that we are not wanting to eat. But, you know, misery loves company. But a lot of times they don't realize that you're having challenges in weight, high blood pressure, diabetes, and all kind of challenges because it's not affecting them. But then some people, it is affecting that they just don't want to change what they're doing, and guess what? They're not going to change what they're doing. But as we go through this holiday seasoning, not just Thanksgiving, not just Christmas, not just New Year's, not just Mother's Day, and all the other days that are coming up, we got to look at ways, how do we just stay healthy? How do we stand tall and do the things that we know that are going to cause us problems that we have to overcome and live, choices, healthy food choices during the holiday seasons. That's this podcast. Healthy food choices, understanding you don't have to be or succumb to other people's what they're eating, because when you think about it for a minute, healthy food choices for the holidays sometimes seems like a challenge. And I can remember being 365 pounds. And I can remember not walking to my mailbox. I can remember going around family and friends during the holiday, and I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, we always went from house to house, house to house, house to house. And we was eating different foods, different places, and it seems like we were eating everything under the sun. And do you realize during the holiday season, average person gains anywhere from 15 to 25 pounds extra weight? And when you think about it, it's not hard to consume why or how we can gain that kind of weight. And let me give you a case in point, because one good thing about when you think about it, how do you gain that much weight is the average person eating 10 to 15,000 calories every day on the holiday. And regardless of what you're doing, you can't burn it up. You're not a world-class athlete that trains all day long and can burn all those calories. But even the world-class athlete, if they don't make some changes in their life, somewhere down the road, that food is going to have a bad bearing on them too. So don't think it's just because of you. You have to look at what's going on. But I think about a lot of times not being able to walk to my mailbox. My feet always hurting. My back was hurting all the time. My eyes was blurry. And it seemed like no clothes that I could ever go into my closet seemed to fit. Everything was either too tight or I just couldn't get in it. And that was very frustrating. And I had to make some changes to my diet. And when you look about it, but one thing about diet and weight loss and diabetes and type 2 and high blood pressures and things that are going on with the body, a lot of times we don't understand everybody's body makeup is totally different. Nobody's the same. And that's amazing. You can put two people on the same type of eating program, the same type of diet is something you call a diet, the same type of exercise regimen, but you're going to get two different results because the body is different. Everybody's DNA, everybody's composition is different. It's like drinking alcohol. Some people can drink a 6-pack of beer and don't even faze them. The next guy can drink, I hope you don't, but the next guy can drink a sip and get drunk because the constitution is totally different. That has the same bearing when it comes to food. And when we're dealing with the holiday, we are in a struggle. We're in a pickle. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And it seems like nothing works. And man, it seems like we are just stuck. And it gets complicated. It gets frustrated. And we get mad at what we're seeing, mad at what we're doing. And it seems like, what do I need to do to change the things that I'm eating? How do I change my outcome? How do I change me as a person? How do I overcome not wanting to stress out somebody, but not being invited to a party that I really want to go to, and not making people feel uncomfortable because of my eating habits? And a lot of times, if you just share with individuals what you're doing, they will appreciate what you're telling them. Because as we go through this podcast today, we're going to talk about food choices, healthy food choices. We're going to talk about food preparation, how to prepare the food, how to prepare simple foods that are beneficial and nutritional and you feel great about. And then how processed healthy food can cause a lot of inflammation in the body and a lot of health issues. Sometimes we're eating food that we think is healthy, but when we analyze the food and look at it real carefully, it's really not healthy at all. So sit back and relax. Share this with your friends. We're going to talk about healthy food for the holidays, and we're going to look at food choices. Well, I think about my pantry back in the day when I used to could open my pantry, and my God, when I opened it up, there was so much in the pantry that when you think about it today, unconsumable, because it was all made with fat and sugar. That's all it was. Fat, sugar, soy, and I never rotated my pantry. And I don't know about you, but in my pantry back in the day, I would have corn, beans, rice, and stuff, and I would just continue to buy corn, beans, rice, and all kind of sauces and things. But when I examined, and I want you to think about it, as you listen to this, you can stop it and go into your pantry at the moment, put me on hold, and go and examine all the things that you just bought, but examine the things in the pantry in the back, food choices, and you're going to realize there are some things in your pantry that you already have. That's been sitting there for months, years, who knows, could be decades, I don't know. But I was shocked when I went into my pantry to see what all the food that I had in there, and they was not healthy food choices. And I had to make some decisions and make some changes in my lifestyle to get my health under control. And I know the first line of defense had to be my pantry. I don't know about your pantry, but mine looked kind of bad. Now, as you examine your pantry, you got to look at the food choices that you made. And a lot of the food choices that we make during the holiday season is not good. Because we're thinking, okay, I'm going to start a new program, a new diet, or I'm going to go to the gym in January, my New Year's resolution, or I'm going to start tomorrow by giving up cookies and chips and processed food, fried foods, and I'm just going to change my overall makeup. But we are fooling, or we have fooled ourselves like I did. I thought I could just do it. And it wasn't as simple as I thought. And I don't know about you. When you look at your pantry for a second, look at the food choices. And then not just your pantry, if you had a deep freezer like I had at one time, all the stuff in the bottom to the top. And it was amazing how much food that I had in my pantry that I would never ever eat. And when I had to make some choices, and I decided that I was tired of taking 2 insulin shots a day, 100 units per side for type 2 diabetes. I was tired of taking cholesterol pills and high blood pressure pills and all kind of medication that some of it I really didn't need, but they gave me some medication to offset the other thing. Now, I don't know about you. Are you taking medications to offset another illness? Wow. And I had to deal with it, and it wasn't simple, but I had to make choices. So when you think about it for a minute, healthy food choices. You got to examine what's in your cupboard. And think about it this: if it's processed, if it's sugar, if it's salt, if it's oil, if it's junk food that you didn't freshly prepared yourself, get rid of it out of your house, because it's going to cause a problem. There's nothing like healthy eating. I know I don't have time, Chef Dr. Moore. I've got children. I've got jobs. I've got so many things coming at me. Well, we think we do. But in actuality, what happens if you couldn't work tomorrow at all? And you're on your back, barely making it, but you had to make healthy food choices. You know what? When you're at that point, you have to make changes. And I found out that you will make those choices and you will make those changes to benefit your life, to change what you're doing. So think about it. You should always have rice and beans and stuff like that, and frozen items in your freezer, that things that you can prepare real fast and that, the children and everybody around you will love. You're not just a salad person. You can have beans, rice, beans. You can have squash soups and all kind of things, potatoes, and you can make more things healthy for you than you realize. So the holiday season doesn't have to be stressful. You just have to decide what you want to eat. And then as we look at not just food choices, food preparations, how do we prepare our food? Well, most processed food, we've already talked about, eliminate it. And then if you are eating food that requires you to prepare it, which all of it in this case should be, just look at how you can prepare it. Slice the potatoes, make potato soup, make rice and beans. But one thing about when you start making healthy salads and things at home, you appreciate the texture and the taste better because you made it for yourself. But if you have small children that can do things in the kitchen with you, incorporate them into the dishes that you're making so they can appreciate and they can bring life to that meal that you're finna serve, and they can feel a part of it, and you don't have to worry about them if my child's gonna like it or not. Because trust me, if they make it with their hands, they will love the dish you just show them how to make. Children are very inquisitive. And by being inquisitive, they don't mind helping you in the kitchen overcome or create dishes. I don't know. And the excitement that it brings to them by being able to watch things that they never thought they would be able to see and to help you make those favorite dishes. So when you think about food choices, incorporate your children, because you remember, children don't have a job. They eat what you bring into the home or the house. So when you think about healthy choices, sometimes you ask them what they like. But when you think about beans and rice and legumes and grains and quinoa and things like that are healthy for them, you got to look at if it's grown in the ground and it will spoil, that's what you want. You don't want all kind of processed food, because as you look around, all type of people are cooking all kind of dishes nowadays, and most of those dishes are not edible. Yeah, they taste good, they look good, they're presentable. But when you look at the overall health of an individual, we are in a situation that, hey, we can't get better. So when you think about it, what do you want to change about what you're doing? What do you want to give up? What do you want to change about life? And how do you want to fix your life? Healthy food choices. I mean, food preparation. Get you a good knife, get you a good cutting board or a good plastic board, and get you good fresh fruits and vegetables that you can chop up and cut. Get you a couple good pans and pots, or get you a pressure cooker that you can cook food in, and that it can be very beneficial and healthy towards your lifestyle. You don't have to eat a lot of junk. You really don't. And think about this, you should take the junk out of your life anyway. You should want to live healthy and happy and be satisfied with what you're eating. There's nothing like being healthy. There's nothing like enjoying life. There's nothing like not having pain in the body. So when you think about it, as we talk about today on the Chef Timothy Moore Show, go to Chef Dr. Timothy Moore. Go to drtimothymore.com and become part of the community, or cheftimothymoore.com. Become part of the community that we can help you overcome those challenges during the holiday season. Because if you look around, everybody's talking about what's so good about Thanksgiving and what's so good about Christmas and New Year's and Easter and Mother's Day and all that. But what about the healthy choices that you're struggling with? What are the things that you're going through the holiday and like, I don't know how I'm going to make it. What am I going to do? Life has got me with these challenges, but I can promise you, you can overcome them. You can. You can overcome them. You can beat them. You can defeat them. You just have to, number one, stay away from negative people that encourage you to eat foods that you are trying to avoid. And it's hard, because I remember myself back in the day when I talk to my friends and my clients every day, and they're around individuals that are showing them all kind of foods and saying a little bit won't hurt, but a little bit will cause you to go back to the ways that you started. So when you think about the things that we are trying to give up or get away from, a lot of times we have to get away from those individuals that are actually causing us to be stuck in that situation of life challenges that we can't overcome. So we got to look at, how do we fix it? How do we change it? What do we do to change? Well, number one, you got to make decisions. You got to make healthy choices. And one thing I learned that really helps a lot of my clients is they get a food journal, and they journal the food that they eat. They journal the food that they buy, and they look at it, and they stand back and say, okay, this is what I can eat that is healthy. This is what's beneficial. This is nutritious for me. This is not. So when you start understanding where you are, and a lot of times as we make dreams and we're thinking about the foods that we want to eat or changing in the lifestyles, we know we make our goals. Our goals are sometimes too out there, extravagant. What I mean by, we put 10, 11 things on our sheet for goals and nothing ever gets accomplished. But what are the two things that you really want to change in your life? It could be eating, could be relationship, It could be whatever's going on. It could be I just want to get my health back. It could be I don't want to get type 2 diabetes. I want to get rid of my irritable bowel system. I want to gain weight. Whatever those two things is, that's what we need to focus on. And then two goals, once we understand how to get those goals, and let me give you an idea. If you want to lose weight, and you say, well, I want to lose weight, how do I do it? Well, the most two important things on how to lose weight is number two. Number one is you've got to cut the calories. Number two, you got to burn calories. So you got changing what you're eating, and a lot of food that we're eating is processed. So if we get away from processed food, now let me explain processed food. You get away from that processed food, you get rid away from a lot of the fat. You know, a lot of people talk about, good fat is good for you. You're right, it is. But if you're fat, or if you're overweight, and you're trying to lose a lot of weight, or trying to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds, and you're putting fat all day back into your body, how are you going to lose weight? Now, I don't care what they say. You got so many people throwing everything at you, and you don't understand, or they're making it seem like it's all right. But examine the person that's talking to you. Have they ever had a weight problem in their life? And the majority of them that you look at, they don't. But a lot of them are telling you how to lose weight are fat. A lot of them are trying to, or they're super skinny, and they've never, ever had a weight problem. I remember being 365 pounds. I know how miserable it is to hear somebody tell me I can be skinny as them, but they have never, ever been 10 pounds overweight. So you have to make your choices and look at what you want to do in life. And as you make those choices, you would notice a lot of things about life begin to change. But it's a day to day. It's not week to week. It's day to day. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is a new struggle. Every day on your goal, your two things that you're trying to change, that's what you're doing. Or you might not want to lose weight. You might just want to learn how to eat healthy. Or you can also change what you're bringing in your house. Make a list. Number one, no junk food in the house. Number two, no going to the store on an empty stomach. You know, so when you think about it, you take those two analyses and you not going to the store hungry. Because if you do, everything, and I don't know about you, it seems like they put it in the front door when you're hungry that I've got to have it. And that triggers something, and you usually buy something that you don't want to buy. Or how many of you went to the store just to buy 2 items and you walked out with a basket full of stuff? And you get home and say, I just wanted to spend 2 items. What happened? You went in hungry, or you didn't go in with a list, and you just made impulse decisions. So you got to look at it. So when you start talking about it at the Chef Timothy Moore Show, hey, we're about helping you overcome those challenges, especially during the holiday season. Food choices, food preparations. Then you might say, well, Chef Dr. Moore, how does all this incorporate the inflammation? I don't know about you. I deal with a lot of diabetics type 2 and a lot of people that's overweight that are having a feet problem. They have neuropathy in their feet. They have back pain. Their stomach is always bloated. They can never wear a lot of the clothes they feel like getting in, and they stay miserable. And a lot of times when we start talking about food preparation and we start about food choices, we overlook the part that we might think that something we're eating is healthy, but what we're eating a lot of times is causing us to have more inflammation in our body. It's actually going against the grain. And when you look at it, we've been misled by these Food Network shows. We've been misled by, just because it's vegan, says, oh, it's healthy because it's vegan. That is not true. On my course of No Oil, No Salt, No Sugar, in my book, 47 Tips to Reverse Your Diabetes or My Diabetes, we look at how salt, oil, and sugar affects the body. And it affects it real. And the scientists have shown it. There's enough medical doctors that can show you that what we're talking about is true. But then you got those that are saying, oh, a little don't hurt. But why is it that you're dealing with diabetes? Why is it dealing with chronic illnesses? Why is it dealing with gout? Why is it dealing with irritable bowel syndrome? Why is it your eyes stay blurry? Why is it seems like nothing you do seems to work? Remember I said earlier, though, everybody's makeup is totally different, and yours is no different than anybody else. So when you start thinking about inflammation in the body, a lot of times it's food choices. Some of us can't tolerate grains like the other person. It's just our body makeup is different. Some of us can't tolerate nuts. Our body is different. But when you think about it, if you're overweight, nuts is not your friend, even though it is a good fat. But you would notice if you're eating all those good fats, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to get to the point where you want to get. And a lot of times we don't examine or listen to our body. So as you think about it and you listen to this podcast, go to chefdrtimoore.com. Go to drtimothymoore.com and become part of my community. Let's talk about how to handle the holiday seasons, how to be more healthy during the holiday, and how to conquer those challenges that we're facing. And guess what? You're not by yourself. A lot of us are facing those challenges every day, and they're not going anywhere. But you can make a conscious decision today to make a change. And you quit listening to those people that have no challenges, have no issues with health. Well, let me go back. They do have them. A lot of times they just haven't surfaced. And a lot of times they don't want to be real with themselves and tell you what's really going on because you will ask questions that they don't want you to answer. And sensible things that we can do. Because, hey guys, as we go through the holiday, it's going to be great. I mean, healthy eating for the holidays is really simple. You got to make a list. You got to do a journal. You got to clean out the pantry. You got to think about what's the outcome of eating junk food. What's the outcome from eating processed food? What is the outcome? I often tell this story a lot of times. There was two ladies that go to the gym, and they looked identical. They was well-tuned, well-fined. They looked gorgeous. And each one of them went to the gym the same time every morning. Basically, they was friends. One of them had a well-defined plant-based eating habit. The other one had a processed plant-based eating habit, processed or junk food, however you want to say it. 30 days, they looked identical again. Nothing seemed to be changed. 60 days came up. They still looked the same. The one was going eating the IHOPs and the Burger Kings and the McDonald's and all the junk they could find. And that always puzzled me, how you can go to the gym and want to go eat all that junk food when you get to working out. And the other one ate salads and beans and rice and corn and potatoes, and she was looking wonderful. But 90 days into the picture, the one that was eating all the junk food, now you begin to see the things that how it was taking effect. See, sometimes we're eating food and we don't see any right now. If we say right now signs, nothing's showing up. I can eat what I want, nothing's bothering me, but take it down the road, something is going to surface. And you have to understand, it's almost like a tsunami. You might look across the ocean, they put a warning out and say, it's a tsunami coming, it's coming. And you look out there and that water look as calm as it can get. But sure enough, the tsunami is coming. You might not see it yet, but it's coming. That's the same way with our health and our life challenges, things that we go through every day. Sometimes we've been warned of what's before us. But because we don't see it, we don't believe it. But you know what? So make healthy holiday choices this holiday and every other holiday. And watch how your life can change, because if you want to change the things that you're doing, do it today. Make a conscious decision for yourself. But also, do it in twos and goals of twos, not threes and fours, because what is your main challenge that you're facing right now? What is it, the one thing, if you could change in your life right now, what would it be? And then we're going to work on those two things that we can change. Because if you, whatever it is, weight loss, whatever it is digestive issues, whatever it is not being able to wear your favorite clothes, what is it, a family issue, what is it, a relationship problem, there is a solution to it. And you know what? And a lot of times it's food triggers. We're being misled, guys. Everybody that's telling you they for you is not for you. But this is Chef Dr. Timothy Moore. Pass this podcast on, share it with your friends, share it with everybody that you know. Because tell them, hey, Chef Dr. Timothy Moore was on today, and he talked about healthy holiday meals and healthy holiday choices and how to live a healthy life. You know what? It ain't hard. You just got to make some choices. Hey, this is Chef Dr. Timothy Moore, the #1 reverse diabetes podcast in the world. Now, you don't have to be a diabetic, a type 2 or 1. You can be someone that's trying to avoid diabetes. Or you just want to change your healthy eating habits. Hey, I promise you, go over to YouTube, look at Chef Timothy Moore, look at the YouTube channel. Let's become friends. Let's do some things. Share this with everybody you know. Go to drtimothymore.com. Hey, I'm looking forward. And subscribe to my link. Subscribe. And tell me how you like the podcast. Tell me things that you want improvement on. Tell me things that you would like to hear more about. Because I listen to your words, what you say. I want to be your friend. I want to help you overcome the things that you're facing and the challenge that you deal with every day. This is Chef Dr. Timothy Moore at drtimothymore.com. I look forward to talking to you soon. Enjoy the show and take it to someone else and let them enjoy it too. Have a blessed, fantastic day. Happy holidays. Well, we come to the end of our Chef Timothy Moore Show. Make sure you pass this on to all your friends and subscribe to the podcast because more fantastic, fabulous news is on the way. Hey, this is Chef Dr. Timothy Moore. Looking forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Have a blessed, fantastic day. This is the Chef. Be blessed.